So in this video, I would like to go through this, and you're going to learn about something on like written here. You're going to learn how to solve the inequalities. So to begin with, you need to know about the idea of this. Okay, what is the meaning of number line? So quickly reminder, like from 0 to here, like to the right hand side is greater while the left hand side is smaller. Okay, and when we try to compare them, we always read it from left to right. Therefore, we will usually say it's like right here, 8 is greater than 5, rather than saying 5 is less than 8. Okay, even though they are the same, but we are going to read it, okay, from left to right, because this is what we are going to have. If you're going to say 5 is less than 8, it's okay. So you can just read it always from left to right. And next one is like you should be able to identify where will it be, like where will be -4, where will be -2, where will be 5, where will be 0. And basically we can see 0 here all day. And then each interval should be the same. That means this one is going to be 2, but positive. +3, +4, +5. And this one is -2, -3, -4. And you will see it is basically increasing or decreasing with the same interval. And now this one, we can just compare them. So we know 10 is like positive is always greater than negative. Okay. And this is the reverse. Okay. -10 is less than -3. And then for these two, we can compare them when we try to change it back into decimal. That will be easier for you to see it. And this one, you can see something like this. And again, we can obviously tell -0.33 is less than -0.2. Okay, and which of them is greater than 4, so you can tell from the number. This one is greater than 4, okay, and 4.5 is also greater than 4. And then for less than -1, we know -12, -7 will be less than -1. Last one, ascending order means from smallest, okay, smallest to largest, okay, largest. Therefore, what we can tell is basically we rearrange them accordingly. So we know 0, and then 9, and then 11, like this. We don't use comma. We use the less than sign, okay, accordingly. It's okay. So we use these two signs instead, and then we know -1 and -1/3. Okay, so we have to consider them accordingly. So basically, this one you can consider to be -3/3 like this. And we compare the numerator, and that is how we can tell it. And basic idea of inequalities is like this. First, okay, when we talk about inequality sign, it's similar to equation, but we just use inequality sign to indicate that it's inequality. So if we use equal sign, then that becomes equation. Okay, and this is how we are going to read through it. Okay, 8 is greater than 5, -5, and -3 is less than 6, like this. So we read from left to right. It is always the same. We read from left to right. We don't change it. Is it clear? So next thing is like basically we are going to do something like this. And when we talk about the free shipping, we can use the inequality to describe it like greater than or equals to 2,500. Okay, because we talk about 2,500 or above. And then if it is like within 14 days, that means we're going to increase that. Okay, so we have the equal sign there. And therefore, you have to see it. The main difference between these two symbols is whether we have the equal sign or not there. If we see the equal sign there, then we have to mention equal, okay, there. Or we can say not less than, okay, or not greater than when we say that. Is it clear? So that means just like we have got this, n is less than or equals to 14. We can say n is not greater than 14. So 14 equals to 14, but 14 is not greater than 14. Okay? And the same apply here, what we have mentioned, either you read it from left to right or from right to left, okay? From left to right or from right to left, they should give you the same result there. Is it clear? Okay? So we will also use inequality to represent something like this. So you should also able to write something like this. When it is longer than 16, that means we do not include 16 there. So it is like 8 is greater than 16. Okay, and then must be at least 100. Do we include 100? We include it, okay, because that is at least. Must not exceed, so 4.6 could be there. Okay, therefore we will say it's like it is less than 4.6 like this. And then this is how we can write, okay, the inequality, and we can also write how to present it graphically. So this is a number line, and we can see from the number line it's like it covers many numbers. Therefore, this is how we are going to write the graphical solution. Okay, so let's look into it. If we are talking about x is greater than 1, then we have this. And make sure that you know there are 3 key points. The first key point is whether that is hollow or solid. If there is no equal sign, that is hollow. And then we have to indicate your number. Okay, indicate your number. The last is about the arrow right here. So we just want to mention it, okay, because we have to have the number line like this. And this is optional, but I would prefer to put it there all the time. So we've got 4 items in total. And make sure that you also indicate the arrow here. Okay, so you will see that for this one, it's mainly differ by the hollow circle becomes solid. So you can see the equal sign here. Okay, so you will see it's like x is less than 1, so the position or the direction of this arrow is different. Okay, so it echo with it. So all the time we must have the left hand side to be your x or your unknown. Is it fine? Okay, so if you can follow, that is great. And then you should also be able to tell what will be this. Okay, so right now it is 5 here, so we know 5 is here, x is here, and then pointing to this side, so we have this arrow. And because this is solid, therefore we will know it is equal as well. So we have to have the equal sign here as well. And this time 4 here, x here, and then pointing to this hollow, so we don't have equal sign there. And then this time x here, negative 2 here, and then pointing to this and hollow. And 3 here, x here, pointing to this side, solid, so we got equal sign. Okay, and then x is less than or equals to 3. Okay, so we have 3 here, and pointing to another side. This is the graphical solution. And just use one line, okay? Just use one line, and you can also indicate 0 here. And now we want to find out all the positive integer that satisfy the inequality. Therefore, just look into this one right here. So if we have 0 here and 1 here and 2 here, so basically this one, when we just close it, okay, and when we look into what we call it to be positive integer, okay, we don't have 0 there, but we have 1, we have 2, and we also have 3. Therefore, the positive integer will be 1, 2, and 3, okay, for B there. Is it clear? And then you can do some practice and try that on your own. And then when we talk about the transitive property, okay, so I'm just going to tell you it's just like if you look into a number line, if A is greater than B, B is greater than C, so obviously we will know that A is also greater than C. Is it clear? Okay, so we can also fill in this on your own. Okay, if you need help, just talk to your neighbor next to you, and you should be able to see it. No matter what you do, it should be like this. Is it clear? So when you just do the addition, subtraction, it is like this. However, when it comes to multiplication, okay, this is still true. When you just divide it, multiply by a positive number, okay, it is not going to change. However, if you see a negative number, then you have to pay attention. Think about this, negative 30 and negative 20. Okay, when we draw the number line, this is 0, this is -20, this is -30, which means this time it is less than, okay, right here. And this one is also less than here because we got 10 and this is 20. Get it? And we also change the sign like this. Okay, therefore, if it is a negative number, the inequality sign is going to reverse, or we can say it is flipped. Okay? So this is something that you need to know. And then we can try to solve some inequality. Okay, so these are some explanation that you can go through it. So fill in it. We will see it, how it goes. So A is less than B. So still less than, but this one is greater than, and this one is less than. Sorry, I made a mistake here. It should be like greater than. Is it here? Okay, because we multiply by negative. Okay, and this one is still like this. And if x is greater than or equals to -12, right now we just have to have greater than or equals to, less than, like this, less than or equals to, and then greater than or equals to, and then this one is less than or equals to. And the last one, okay, so it should be like this. Given that this is negative, okay, maybe I forgot to add a space in between it. Okay, so how do we know how to solve the inequality? Okay, if it is only one unknown, just treat it as if an equation to solve it. And this is very straightforward for most of you. And this is how we do it. So yeah, basically we just have to do the bad math in opposite direction, which means we handle these first. Okay, like this, in this direction, so we eliminate this -5 first, and then divide it by 2. Get it? Make sense? And I think it makes sense. So after this, you will also have to represent the solution. Okay, represent the solution graphically. So this is the solution that we have. Is it here? Okay, and you can see there are some example, and hopefully you can read it and you understand what they are doing. What we are actually doing is actually isolating the unknown. But pay attention to the inequality sign. Okay, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, then you have to flip the sign. Okay, so for practice here, hopefully you can try it and see whether you got it correctly. So you got 4x equals to 11 plus 7, so x is greater than or equals to 18 divided by 4, which means x is greater than 9/2. And when you graph it, this is what you should have. And arrow pointing to right. This one, we have -7x greater than or equals to, okay, like this, and -7x is greater than or equals to -21. Then both of it divided by -7, so this one change, and x is going to be less than 3. So we've got 0 and 3 here, and this is solid and pointing to the left hand side. Here, so you should need to pay attention to this thing. And if you see something like this, you just have to combine the like term, okay, just like solving the equation. So what I want to remind you is like just pay attention to this. When you divide it or multiply by a negative number, you have to flip the sign. Okay, and you also have to present it graphically. And for the practice here, you can see whether you got it correctly. So you got 2x less than 4, x is less than 2. Okay, you can combine the like term. In this one right here, you got -x equals like greater than or equals to -2. So positive 10. And got x is less than or equals to -10. Okay, so the solution that you have -10 here and 0 here, and you're pointing solidly pointing to the left. And again, for this one, you're going to find it. Okay, so this time the term is not really the same, so you will see find the range. So it's basically equals to solve the inequality, okay? It also means to solve the inequality. So after that, you will see that if you just draw the number line, like the graphical solution, you have -4 here and 0 here, and hollow, and then we know it. Now we just want to look into the integer, okay? Negative integer. Therefore, we know it. -3, -2, and -1. They fit in, but -4 does not fit in, okay? Because this is not equal sign, so this is hollow. So for the range, it does not cover -3, -4, okay? So then for this practice, you can also try to solve it, okay? So once you solve it, just play the video, okay? And you will have 6x minus 3x minus 6 less than or equals to 4 plus x. And you got 3x minus 6 is greater than 4 plus x, so you rearrange the term. You have 2x less than or equals to 10, and x is less than or equals to 5. Therefore, when you draw the solution, you got 0 here, 5 here, and solid, okay, pointing back to this, and you will have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you got 5 number there at all. Okay, so therefore you have to put down all of them because this is solid. Which means, okay, this is going to be, okay, so all positive integer are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that's how you go with it. And then when it comes to the fraction, basically you can consider this multiply by 4, and then you have the solution, and hopefully you can see it. Okay, read it, and then you can try the practice like this one, and first step is like you can multiply by 7. Okay, so you multiply by 7, which means now both left side and right side you multiply by 7. So we have 3x minus 6 less than 14x plus 49. So you will see that it's just like calculating the like term, therefore you could have -11x, and this one is going to be 55, okay? And x is going to be greater than 55 divided by -11. So we got x is greater than -5. So we can also draw the number line, like -5 here, 0 here, and you're pointing to the right hand side. Okay, and then for b, so this time we will have to do the course modification, okay, to make it easier. Basically, we will have to multiply to this side and then this side like this. Therefore, we start with 2 times 2x minus 9 like this greater than or equals to 5 times 4 minus 3x. So we got 4x minus 18 greater than 20 minus 15x. And then we collect the like term, so we got 19x. This side we got 38, and x is greater than 38 divided by 19. So x is greater than 2. Okay, and the graphical solution will be like this: 0 here, 2 here, and solid circle pointing to the right hand side. Okay, and when it comes to a word problem like this one, okay, you will see that this time we will start with letter equation. Okay, read it first. Okay, we got two consecutive integer. It's it's greater than 19, okay, because we're talking about the sum, and greater than 19, so 19 cannot be greater than 19, so we don't include 19 there. Okay, so this is how we solve it. Okay, so that is why right now you will see this is how we solve the equation. So next one, let's see this one. Okay, the practice, if the sum is smaller than 46. So we can just find out, okay, we can, like, by the way, you have to find out, this is like, we're looking for the greatest possible value. Okay, so we can just let the smaller one integer be x, and then another number or integer is x plus 1. So we know x plus 1 is going to be less than 46. So we got 2x plus 1 less than 46, 2x is less than 45, x is less than 22.5. Which means now when we draw the graphical solution, like this one, 22.5 pointing to the right, so left, 0 here. The next number that we can see obviously is 22, which means, okay, therefore, the smallest, the greatest possible value of the two integers are 22 and 23. Okay, and you can see basically 22 plus 23 is equals to 45, which is less than 46. So it makes sense, don't you agree? Okay, and for this one, it is also the last thing you will see it. Okay, you will have to set up the equation accordingly. So hopefully you can see it and read through it. And let's do this one. That is the last one. Again, I would suggest you do it with a table so you will know it's just like this is a $2 coin. This is going to be $5 coin. And you got 18 of them. And you don't know how much of it. Okay? So now you know the value is like 2 times 18, and this is 5/8. Is it clear? So let's try that. Let the number of cons, okay, $5 cons of Peter be x. Okay, so we got 18 times 2 plus 5x is not less than, that means it's greater than, okay, like this, 150. Is it clear? So if it is not less than, okay, not less than, so we don't have equal sign here, and we can solve it. 5x is greater than 150 minus 36, which is 114, and x is greater than 114 divided by 5. Okay, so that is why right here you can see x is going to be 22 and 4/5, like this. And which means, therefore Peter has at least 20. Okay, let's look back to our graphical solution like this. The next number that we can see actually is 23. Therefore, this one is going to be 23 $5 coin. Okay, $5 coin. So after everything, you will see the practice and you will also see the solution like this. And then hopefully you understand what you are going to do it. And you also see this the summary that you have been going through. That's it for this video. Hopefully you learned something during this time because you should be doing this video learning right now while we are doing the conversation.